What up, over? Brooklyn's 11B here, and this is Noob to Smite. Little disclaimer, PC players, you guys have been playing this game 1, 2, and 3 years, so the information I'm putting out is pretty basic, so it may not help you, but I do encourage you to watch it, because if you like the content, you can share it on your activity feed, it might help the next person. So moving on, Noob to Smite is going to be an informational series just to get people coming into the beta in May, just get them going, acclimated to what's going to happen the first time logging in and stuff like that. Let them know what the game is about. Those people that have watched the streams but never really played it, or saw articles and never really played it, see pictures on Twitter, never really played it, seen on other people's activity feed but never really played it. So just putting this out there, hopefully it can help some people get the game started and stuff like that, so that way you're not totally lost on what's going on. There is a learning curve here, but the good thing is the information that you have to learn is not difficult. You know, with this video or videos, along with about 25, 30 hours, you'll start getting comfortable and acclimated to the game, and hopefully have a good experience, because it's a great game and I really want to see it do well. So on to the video. Alright, so you finished downloading the game, and this is where you're at. Login screen. Nothing great. Login varies. So this is your daily feed, let you know what's going on in the community, what news going on in the community, special events as you see here, different things like that. Welcome to the Smite Alpha, tutorial videos. About the tutorial, those are PC based, but they can still help you because the knowledge is still the same. And of course, stream on Smite. Oh yeah, Founder's back, God's back, whatever you want to call it. Here's your basic startup screen. You got your play, profile, and over here with the gods. Then you have your marketplace, which you can purchase items for cosmetic use. You have your options, like any other game, and then of course help. So going into the play, you have versus, which is against, which is basically multiplayer. Then you have leagues, which ain't available to the game releases. We really can't be worried about that right now. Then you have custom matches, which is with your buddies, bots, and then bots in the practice and co-op modes to practice it out with your buddies. So going to the gods, this shows all the guys in the game, shows what guys you owned, whether you bought them one by one or you bought the Founders Pack or God Pack, but they're all there for me. And then they break each god down. Then you'll see on the left, they break each god down by classification, because not all gods are the same. So they're broken down that way to navigate the menus a little bit easier. Then you have Marketplace, which is in-game currency, or the Founders Pack, and a little bit about the Founders Pack, you buy that, it's a one-time fee, and it unlocks all the gods in the game currently and in the future. So basically, you're getting a lifetime pass through the game. Your gems is the in-game currency, to purchase skins. This is not a pay-to-win game, so if you want to win, you have to use your player skill. The gems are just used really for anything cosmetic, buy different skins for your guys, which we'll talk about in another video. And then, of course, you have your options, which tell you different controller layouts and stuff like that. I recommend trying them all, but it's an option, how you want to play and all that good stuff, video settings, user interface and all that. I say, play with things, see what you like, because at the end of the day, it's your controller setup, so try them all out. So in this section, we're going to talk about gods, which are the characters you play within Smite. So in the god menu, as you see here, we have all the gods that are playable in the game. In the next tab, you'll see that there's gods that you owned. These are where you bought them individually, or you purchase a Founders Pack or a God Pack to unlock all of them. And as you can see, I got the Founders Pack, so they're all unlocked. Now, gods are broken down by classification. So you have Assassin, Guardians, Hunter, Mage, and then Warriors. Each of them, they have their own ability sets and play styles for each god. One of my favorites is, as you see here, is Hell. So on the top left, you'll see she's a part of North Pantheon. She's a ranged magical, and she's rated as a magical god and her god rank 10, which is her max rank as a god herself. I have her maxed out at 10. Under that is the worshippers. Worshippers are how you rank up a god, or what you may know as XP. And then her pros and cons, she's high sustain, which means she can heal herself and others. High area damage, which is very true. She has a big AOE for her abilities, and difficulty, which is rated hard, which is basically how you use her kit or her abilities to work out through the game. So here you have skins. Skins can be bought with gems or bought with favor, or in the exclusive ones, as you see, those are more promotional or during an event type deal. It could be a convention or a community event, but we'll know that in the future. The skins here, I have them maxed out, so obviously I was able to unlock and purchase with favor. This is what I did with favor. The diamond skin for Hell. It looks pretty dope. So yeah, she's blinged out and stuff in her diamonds and all that stuff. Here, the ability section, this is where the learning curve comes in because you have four abilities. So her first ability being her X, which is decay. If you read there, it has 70, 120, 170, 220, and 270. You have to remember, in the game, the gods, they rank up again within the game from 1 to 20. So from 1 to 5, this decay is going to do 70 damage. And then from 5 to 10, it's going to do 120, so on and so forth until she maxes out for in-game rank, which is 20 plus 50% of her magical power. So you really have to read the abilities of each god that you're using because they don't play the same and they don't do the same amount of damage. And the same thing in cooldown is how often you can use that ability. So it's 3 seconds or 10 seconds or what have you. Um, so starting from top, you have your X, your A, and your B, and then your Y, which is this one, her ultimate, which is just a chain stance. Now, everybody's ultimate is different. Now, the fourth ability that we talk about is the passive. It's a passive because it requires no player input. Um, you play the game, and this passive will either buff, debuff, or add power, or add protection, or whatever have you. Then the stats is what the character is base stat ratings are basic without even starting the game. This is where your player stands. And then the lore, which is kind of cool. It's the background of that god. It tells you, how they came about, all that stuff. And in particular, Hel is Loki's daughter, or the adopted brother of Thor, and all that good stuff. So there's a little bit about the gods. I hope that helped out, and we're gonna go on to the next section. All right. So welcome back, and in this clip, we're gonna talk a little bit more about items. We have versus mode, which is multiplayer and all that stuff. But I think for starting out, your first time logging in, you need to either go co-op with a buddy or go in practice mode. But go practice. And of course, it's a basic tutorial to teach you about the game and a little more. But we're gonna talk about more items. And the tutorial is good. So for this, we're just gonna go into the jungle, which lets us roam around and try different things out. And of course, this is the lobby, which is going to be, you'll see from all your game types. And there's all the guys that you can utilize and stuff. But we're going to keep it simple, keep it linear. We'll choose Hell. And if you hit up in the D-pad, you'll see that you have L and RB, which you can use. So generally, you hit RB, you go to your abilities. You hit RB again, there's her base stats, and then there's her lore. You could do that for any of the gods in the lobby. So if you're not sure, here's Hebo. Boom, general, RB. And then you hit, you go to abilities, RB again, stats. It's all the same, very linear. So let's go ahead and pick Hell, and we'll get this started. Of course, there's always a countdown timer. If you don't lock in time, you will get kicked from the lobby. And then the load up screen and all that stuff, loading up the worlds and talking to the servers, all that good stuff. So this is the jungle, which is basically a place where you can practice your builds, buy different items, and if you see that fountain right there, if you walk over it, you can rank up your god. But the fountain is where you go to regen your health and your mana. So when you're getting low, run back to the fountain in your game mode or recall. So here's the item menu. There's a lot of items in here. You can change how it's viewed by hitting left trigger, right trigger, and all that stuff. This is where the learning curve comes in, people, because a lot of the stuff is there's a lot of reading in here. Everything here does something different. So you really have to understand what your god's abilities are and how you want to play with that god. Um, whether you need utilities to help you cool down faster so you can use your ability more often, whether you need a little more power from each of your abilities, um, whether you need something that's going to give you more mana or what have you. But just to pick one of my favorites, we got the Rada Tahuti. Now, this tree from this 600 gold item has 3 items that you can purchase. As you see this, to the left, it says all tiers of this can be purchased, and that is true. From that little $600 item right here, that's where you start off with. And then once you get a little more gold, you go up to the next level, which is that 1900. And as you increase in price, you increase in abilities for that item. And then the max level, which there's the cooldown and the power and all that good stuff, the MP5. What I usually get is the Rada Tahuti. I go to the left. And then this one has a passive. 25% of your magical power is increased. So this is where that learning curve comes in, because you have to read on what's going on in the items that you're purchasing. Or else, you always may be losing the fight or what have you. Just depending on how your game style is and the god that you've chosen. You have consumables. These are one-time use only type deals. So you're gonna have to repeatedly buy them. Consumables, depending on what they are, you can buy only 1 or only 2 or sometimes 5. Health and mana, you can buy 5 of each. So you only have 2 consumable slots, so you really have to pick on what you're gonna get. And then there's other categories. You have your power, your life steal, penetrations, how much piercing you get through their armor, and all that stuff. You have the defensive, which is going to give you physical protections against physical gods. You don't want to build up too much against one god, because if someone's magical and you're built up strictly for physical, then you're going to be done when that one god comes at you. So you really have to understand who you're playing against also. Um, and all that. So, my recommendation: go into practice, go look through the items, understand your god's abilities. Then you'll have an idea of what kind of items you need to build, or what kind of builds you need to build, um, and all that good stuff. So it's very important that you guys go through the items.
Careful, we could hurt someone with that.
That's the point!
I will protect you.
Well, this is the end of the Noob to Smite video. Thanks for checking it out. Please hit that like, share button. Let me know in the comments what should be added to the next video. Enjoy the clip.
Now you will know pain.
An ally has been slain.